everybody, and welcome to The List. I'm Jessi Combs.
And I'm Patrick McIntyre. And what you see behind us is Eastnor Castle, home to the Land Rover Experience for the last 50 years.
Recently, the Defender has grown in popularity with collectors and fanatics, and controversially with U.S. Customs as they confiscate and destroy them.
So we knew we had to drive one. And what better place to do it than right here?
So come along with us as we check Drive a Defender off our list.
I've had a love affair with cars my whole life. I build them in my shop, and I race them both on and off-road.
I've spent years on the auto show circuit talking about cars, but now it's time to get behind the wheel and find the next adventure.
Together, we're setting out to tackle all things that every car enthusiast should do.
This is The List.
Eastnor Castle is actually a revival castle, built in the 1800s as a private residence by John Cox and owned today by his descendants, the Hervey Bathurst family. It has been used by Land Rover as an off-road proving ground since the late 1950s.
So this is pretty much our Land Rover playground, what you're looking at here now. So 9.5 miles from corner to corner, roughly. So 5,500 acres of ground, 60 miles of track.
As the story goes, some Land Rover executives were invited to a pheasant hunt at the castle and saw that the sheer acreage and the variety of terrain features made for a perfect testing ground. Major Ben Bathurst agreed to let Land Rover use the land, and the company has been developing its off-road vehicles here ever since.
How amazing is it that you get to work there?
This is my office.
This is the best office. The Defender Heritage we are driving today is the last of an uninterrupted line of vehicles going back to 1948, and to Huey, the very first Land Rover prototype, HUE 166, which is still drivable today. It was built as a farmer's vehicle, with the mud-defying capabilities of a tractor, but drivable and legal on the street. The Land Rover was instantly popular, and they were soon put to work all over the world, from farms to deserts, to jungles and urban war zones. And in the process, Land Rover basically invented the modern sport utility vehicle and did it in a style that is still often imitated. And while the Range Rover line brought luxury and refinement to the Land Rover concept, the Defender has evolved directly from the original, no-nonsense, off-pavement beater.
So we know it as a Defender.
Yeah.
But this is, if you ask a 4-year-old child to draw a Land Rover, they're going to draw a Defender.
They're going to draw this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to throw you straight into it.
All right, let's do it.
Take the next left.
Okay.
So first is really low, isn't it?
Yeah.
So second gear for pulling away is probably much easier.
Oh man, we did an episode where we went up on 2 wheels. I feel the same way right now, so.
But look, you're smiling.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So is it a foot deep or is it 4 foot deep?
You have no idea.
So I'm expecting it to be deep, close to our maximum wading depth.
Okay, so that's...
So in terms of how deep that's going to be,
yeah,
that's going to be to there. So you can monitor that in your door mirror because you can see that point on the car, can't you?
Right. All right, here we go. Oh my God.
So start to build your speed up a little bit. Perfect. Just I can hold it there. Now look at the difference in height between the front and the back.
Yeah.
Yep, it's up to the rockers. It's past the rockers for sure. It's going up to almost like the middle of the door.
I can feel the water under my feet right now.
So that shows us it must be on our wading depth.
Yeah.
So if ever there was a sensor, it's that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Going in slow is one thing,
yeah.
But you're saying to monitor the level as we go. If I have to monitor it, why don't I just go ahead and just gun it? I suppose I won't get the traction.
How's this then? So if we were to gun it through this next section here, you're going to be eroding the banks.
Right.
You're nesting birds this time of year.
Oh, sure.
So I'm thinking...
So it's more of...
Is this someone's drinking water?
Right. Sorry, buddy. Oh, no.
Look at that. I was out here with some instructors from the 60s and 70s. I asked them, how is it different? And they went, no, Simon, it's exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought that was a really nice testament to everyone that's driven around here.
Yeah.
Is that it's been driven responsibly.
I have to say, it's pretty rad to be able to drive one of these, because it's very rare. Out of everybody I know in the off-road world, it's not often that we get to see a Defender, especially a right-hand drive Defender.
The Defender was only sold in the US from 1993 to 1998, when they were rendered illegal by federal safety legislation. All Defender imports were banned due to its lack of airbags. But like most things, as soon as they are outlawed, demand for Defenders skyrocketed. And they are still so hot with enthusiasts that people will go to extreme lengths to get around the import ban. Things like altering VIN numbers or shipping the car in parts for reassembly. But US Customs is cracking down, seizing and even crushing illegal Defenders, which has been met with much controversy. Turns out, the US import law only applies to vehicles less than 25 years old. So the best way to get any Defender into the US is just to wait until its 25th birthday.
2015 was the last year of production for the Defender because it could not be modified to meet new European safety codes. So we really are driving the last of one of the most iconic cars in history.
Let's just go for it. Let's see.
Let's go for it and see what happens.
All right.
Wow.
As cool as Defender is, Land Rover must look to the future. And so they took us to the Land Rover Jaguar testing facility in Gaydon to test out the very newest and most advanced performer in the Land Rover family, the Range Rover SVR.
Oh, that sounds mean.
We are at a secret test track right now where not everyone is allowed to go, and Jessi is going to be flying by any second. And that right there, and if you can hear that, that Range Rover sounds more like a motorcycle with that open, throaty growl. This thing's badass.
149, 150. It's 159. I did 159. How fast did she go?
162. So nearly there.
Oh, I'll get it next lap.
So you've taken what is basically essentially a race car and mixed it with an off-road vehicle and added luxury to all that.
Yeah,
as
that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, it's a bit of a Swiss Army knife of a car. They'll do high speed on the Autobahn, they'll do off-roading, they'll do a racetrack as well.
So we can literally go from basically a racetrack to the dirt and not have any problems.
Yeah.
So if we just drive it to the edge, Jessi, and then we've got a bit of a descent and then some water that we're going to drive through.
Yep.
So the rock crawl program, that's more designed for your big Moab kind of rock crawling.
Okay.
The grass, gravel and snow is more for this kind of section here where you're expecting the terrain to kind of fall away a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you just rotate that, one click.
Ooh, it's rising
Also
up.
lifting up.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
It also means we can go through our maximum wading depth, which is 850 millimeters for this vehicle. It's quite a serious amount of water.
And does this have downhill assist as well?
It has hill descent control, yeah. So there it's doing all the braking for you. So you have.
So I can just let my
come
foot
off
off
the
right
brake,
now.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Go for it.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
So the vehicle detects that we're going down a hill and operates the brakes for you, controlling that rate of descent. So we've got a feature we didn't see before, was this something called wade sensing. And this uses sensors in the wing mirrors that will
Okay.
send a pulse of sonar down and show us in real time how deep the water is.
Oh,
So
wow.
we've got sonar in this car. How cool is that? At first, there's that element of you want to be more in control, but then you realise the car really does just know what it's doing, and things like hill descent control and adjusting throttle response and gear selection, that's a real core part of off-road driving, is choosing the correct gear, whereas
Yeah.
this vehicle is able to do that for you. Taking a right.
The Range Rover's array of sensors, electronics, and driver assist technology is formidable. The Defender, however, handles the challenges of off-road driving differently. It does have background operating sensor-driven traction control, automatic takeover mode for climbing or descending hills, and automatic front and rear differential locks. But that's about it. Everything else about the Defender is mechanical, analog, and old school. The whole point is to put the driver back at the center of the off-road experience.
We've got a beam axle, front and back.
Okay.
So the big advantage of the beam axle, as you push one end up, the other one goes down.
Yes.
Yeah. So unlike the car behind us with independent suspension, you're not going to get
They
that,
work
are you?
independently from each other, which is a better ride.
Right. But we want even ground pressure.
Yes.
So what the other vehicles will do with the air suspension, as soon as they detect articulation, well, they'll push one wheel up, pushing the other one down.
No way.
Yeah. So the new technology is emulating how this vehicle works. It's a luxury car, but because its DNA comes from this car,
It's a capable off-road vehicle.
it's got to do what this one does as well.
And this puts a smile on my face because it throws back to the heritage, to the homage of what this brand was created around.
Yep.
It looks cool.
What?
It performs fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, it's what off-road is all about.
From the Eastnor Castle to the top of the hill, we had a great day driving the Defender, and it is sad to know that 2015 was its last year of production.
However, with the trip to the Gaydon test facility in the SVR, we can say with confidence that the DNA of this vehicle continues on through the brand, with a couple more creature
Well,
comforts.
and that's what I love about this, is that it's raw and it's pure, and it is the foundation that created all of that luxurious technology.
And that's why it's so iconic.
And with that, we can officially check Drive a Defender off our list.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you guys next time. And there's a f***ing castle right there.